Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Phlava. The flavor today is Frankie Boyle in Live at the Apollo Part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any future videos. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at Live at the Apollo with Frankie Boyle Part 2.
Offended by any jokes tonight, by the way? Feel free to tweet your outrage on a mobile phone made by a 10-year-old in China. Because that's what Santa Claus does the other 364 days a year. He travels around the world apologising to all the children who actually make the presents. Sorry about that, Woling Ho. Still, tea break's over. Back to work, son. People say that Steve Jobs died too soon, but I think it was a fitting metaphor for his company's attitude to battery life. I hope that they buried him in a coffin with a great big crack on the lid. Twitter's good though, isn't it? Enjoy Twitter. Before Twitter came along, if I wanted to be called a wanker by a stranger, I had to go out for a walk. Do you know what gets me on Twitter? Those wee biogs people have, where they put the most banal, depressing summations of themselves. Tea drinker. That's me in a nutshell. I like to drink a cup of tea. Foodie. I eat food. I want a burst of honesty in one of those boxes. I was brought up in an atmosphere of such violence that I could never truly love anyone. The only person who loved me, I rejected, and during my ensuing mental breakdown, I got a nutcase pregnant.
Wow.
I also drink tea. I'd never even understood that Twitter was a bird metaphor, even though it's got a bird as the icon, and they're called tweets. I think the reason I'd never worked that out is I've never gone to the park and had a little robin redbreast turn round in its nest and tell me that it hopes that my kids die because I made a joke about Michael Schumacher. It's actually a very gentle joke about Michael Schumacher. I mean, thank God he's better and everything, but at the time I tweeted, the only hope for Michael Schumacher is if his brain is repaired overnight by elves. So it was actually a very light-hearted elves in the shoemaker joke. You can't please all of the people all of the time, can you? Some people just get offended by a word. They don't want a word in a joke. No, ban that word. I can train a dog to get angry at a word. Rover, Jehovah's Witnesses. People should be more sophisticated. Different words mean different things to different people. You say Snapchat, I say speedwank. Then there's a thing called phenomenology. Phenomenology means that the joke can't take place in my mouth. If you think about it, it has to take place in your head. So it's often better in your head because you add to it. I had this a couple of weeks ago. I helped an old guy across the road in Glasgow. He went to me, "Help me across the road, son. I've got AIDS in both ears." Read a thing, said that a woman died after drinking 18 litres of Coke. She ate a packet of Mentos and they found her head 3 miles away. Piers Morgan says that women send him knickers through the post, presumably with the message from one twat to another. There's a thing that happens to you, I think, in your 40s as a man, where you suddenly realise that you're a dad, and not in a good way. You realise that you're a 42-year-old father of 2 who says lame dad stuff, and you will never be cool again. And this happened to me last week. I was in Covent Garden, and I was trying to cross the road at the traffic lights, There's a guy beside me, a beautiful male model, a Californian guy, a beautiful man. Because he was American, he was looking the wrong way into traffic. And he stepped out in front of a moving car. And I grabbed him by the arm and pulled him back onto the pavement. And he had no idea how close he'd come to dying. And he said, "What was that car's problem?" And I went, "Look both ways, Zoolander!" Do you know what my kids got me for Father's Day? They got me that shower gel, mint tea tree gel. No one had warned me about that. I thought my arsehole was going to burst into song. They always say, don't they, when you're telling your kids off, stay positive, don't be too negative. And I agree with that. But sometimes you're standing there thinking, I don't see anything positive about this. You have shat on my rug. I'm struggling to find an upside. You can't hit your kids, obviously, but there's nothing that says that you can't tamper with the brakes on their heelys. My son's 6 now, so it's actually quite difficult to punish him. What I do is I tuck his bedclothes in really, really tight and hope that he has a nightmare where he's trapped in a giant's pocket. I think it's sad when people medicate their children for behavioural problems when it's so much easier to just drug yourself. Do you know the saddest thing? You spend the first year teaching them to say dad, daddy, dada, and now they're like, Dad! And I'm like, shut up, will you? I'm on Tinder trying to find us a new mum. Bombing Iraq now, we're calling it humanitarian bombing. There's no such thing as humanitarian bombing, is there? It's always about oil or power, not humanitarianism. That's why you never get stopped by someone in the street saying, "Hi, I'm from Oxfam, and for just £12 a month, we could really blow the shit out of something." And who are we blowing up? IS. Remember last year they said, "Oh, we need to bomb Syria, help the rebels, they're the good guys." Who are the rebels? IS. The same people. They've gone from being loved to hated and despised in a year, and they haven't even had to win the X Factor to make that happen. Britain as a culture runs on hypocrisy. David Cameron went to Sri Lanka. He told the Sri Lankans off for human rights abuses that they committed with weapons that Britain sold to them. Like Ronald McDonald calling you a fat bastard. We sent Prince Harry to Afghanistan because when you want to teach people about democracy, you send them a prince. You teach them about peace and democracy by having a prince shoot at them from a helicopter.
There you have it, Frankie Boyle live at the Apollo Part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any future videos. I think I said Part 2, but I meant Part 2. Anyway, until next time, deuces.
Rap.